I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Mia coming to you live from the car tonight. January 9th, 2024. 11:47 p.m. Birmingham, Alabama. Mia Nixon sits in her parked car, the blue glow of her phone illuminating her face as she adjusts her position. The 22-year-old nail technician is doing what she does most nights, connecting with her followers on Facebook Live from her driveway on Green Crest Turn. Her long nails tap against the phone as she reads comments, laughing at something a viewer wrote. Yeah, I'm tired too. Just got done with my last client. Had to do a whole set of Swarovski crystals. My fingers hurt, but the money's good. The live stream continues like any other. Mia talks about her day, upcoming nail designs, and plans to expand her business. Her followers drop heart emojis and compliments. Everything seems normal. Until it doesn't. At 12:03 a.m., the comments section suddenly shifts. Viewers notice someone joining the chat, someone whose presence makes Mia's smile fade instantly. Who is that? She says, squinting at the screen. Oh, you want to talk now? The tone of the live stream changes dramatically. A male voice, muffled but audible, calls out from somewhere nearby. Mia's head turns sharply toward her driver's side window. You set my boy up, the voice accuses. You know exactly what you did. Mia's expression hardens. I ain't set nobody up. You need to get your facts straight before you come at me like that. The argument intensifies. Mia's viewers watch in real time as she defends herself against accusations that she arranged for someone to be robbed or worse. The comments section explodes with confusion and concern. Y'all witnessing this, Mia says directly to her audience, her voice steady despite the escalating situation. This man is out here threatening me on my own property. At 12:11 a.m., Mia abruptly ends the live stream with a final statement. I gotta deal with this. I'll be back on tomorrow to explain everything. She never went live again. What happened in the next 4 minutes would shock her followers, devastate a community, and expose a calculated killer whose motives ran deeper than anyone initially suspected. The man at her window wasn't just a random aggressor. He was the final piece in a deadly setup that had been orchestrated weeks before. And the most chilling part? The person who orchestrated Mia's murder was watching that very live stream, hidden among her loyal followers. Before we find out what happened to Mia Nixon after she turned off that camera, kindly take a second to hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Our channel investigates cases that mainstream media often overlooks, especially those affecting our communities. This story contains details that were deliberately kept from the public, and you won't want to miss what our investigation uncovered about the person who silenced Mia forever. The truth about what happened that night is far more disturbing than initial reports suggested. And it begins with understanding who Mia Nixon really was before she became another headline.
Thank you, Destiny. Breaking overnight in Birmingham, a woman found dead on her driveway.
This happened in the Crestwood community about 1:45 this morning. Birmingham police say they found a 21-year-old named Mia Nixon dead in a driveway. Investigators say that she had been shot.
Mia Sh0t Nixon wasn't born into privilege. Growing up in Birmingham's West Side, she learned early that nothing would be handed to her. What many of her followers never knew was that before becoming Mia the Nail Queen, she had survived a devastating betrayal that nearly ended her career before it began. At 17, while her classmates focused on prom and college applications, Mia was already building her future, one nail at a time. But her journey started with a crushing setback. I got scammed out of my first $2,000, Mia revealed in a rarely seen YouTube interview from 2022. I saved up working at McDonald's for 6 months to buy supplies and rent a chair at this salon. The owner took my money and disappeared the next day. Left me with nothing. This little-known chapter in Mia's story explains the fierce independence that defined her. After being left broke and humiliated, she transformed her bedroom into a makeshift salon, teaching herself through YouTube tutorials while working night shifts to rebuild her savings. That scam was the best thing that happened to me, she once wrote in a Facebook post that's since been deleted. It taught me to depend on nobody but myself. Now I help girls avoid the same mistakes. Her first clients were neighborhood friends who paid what they could, sometimes just $15 for a full set. What Mia lacked in formal training, she made up for with raw talent and determination. "Nails changed my life for the better," she wrote in 2022. "I have so many opportunities now. I get to express my creativity and make good money doing it." By 21, Mia had built a loyal clientele that stretched beyond her neighborhood. Her distinctive style, bold colors, intricate designs, and her signature crystal work became recognizable throughout Birmingham. Local beauty influencers sought her out, and her booking calendar filled weeks in advance. But Mia's ambitions extended beyond nail art. She was saving for cosmetology school, determined to get her master's license and open her own full-service salon. "I want my own spot by 25, she told a local podcast in 2023. "Something nice where girls like me can come work and build their own clientele. We need more Black-owned beauty businesses in Birmingham." Behind the ambitious entrepreneur was a young woman deeply connected to her family. According to her Aunt Keisha, who spoke with us exclusively, Mia was helping raise her younger siblings while her mother worked night shifts. "Mia was like a second mama to those kids," Keisha revealed. "She'd do their hair for school, help with homework, cook dinner, all while building her business. That girl never stopped." What investigators would later discover, and what adds a chilling dimension to this case, is that the person who scammed Mia at 17 had been watching her success with mounting jealousy. This individual, whose identity was protected during the initial investigation, had recently reached out to Mia through a fake account, pretending to be a potential business partner. According to phone records obtained exclusively for this investigation, Mia had received a business proposal just 3 weeks before her murder from someone using the alias LaShawn Jenkins. Police would later discover this account was created by someone from Mia's past, someone who had never forgiven her for overcoming their attempt to destroy her career. But someone else was watching Mia's rise with even greater resentment. Someone who knew her schedule, her habits, and exactly when she'd be vulnerable. Someone who had been planning her execution for weeks, and it wasn't Damian McDaniel. January 9th began as a productive day for Mia. According to her appointment book, recovered from her home, she had completed 7 nail sets, including an elaborate bridal design for a client getting married that weekend. Her final appointment ended at 9:45 p.m., later than usual, but the bride had paid extra for the after-hours slot. The Crestwood area of Birmingham, where Mia lived, was typically quiet on weeknights. Her modest one-bedroom apartment on Greencrest Turn sat in a row of similar units, affordable housing that represented her first step toward independence. Security camera footage from a neighbor's doorbell captured Mia arriving home at 10:22 p.m., carrying takeout from a local chicken spot and her heavy nail supply case. What happened in the next 2 hours remains partially unclear, but cell phone records show Mia made 3 calls between 10:30 and 11:15 p.m. The first was to her mother, a routine check-in that lasted 4 minutes. The second call, to a number registered to Darius J., lasted only 38 seconds. The third call went to a prepaid phone that investigators have never been able to trace. At 11:47 p.m., Mia returned to her car parked in the driveway. This behavior wasn't unusual. Neighbors confirmed she often sat in her vehicle late at night, using it as a private space for her live streams away from her sleeping siblings. The car, a 2018 Honda Civic she had purchased just 3 months earlier, represented another milestone in her journey. "I'm sitting in MY car that I bought with MY money from doing what I love," she proudly announced as the Facebook Live began. "Nobody can take this feeling from me." For the first 15 minutes, the stream followed Mia's usual format. She discussed nail trends, showed off a new technique she was practicing, and bantered with viewers. The comments section was active but unremarkable until 12:03 a.m. That's when a user with the screen name TruthTeller205 joined the chat. According to viewers who archived the video, this account had never appeared in Mia's live streams before. Their first comment, "You really think you can just set people up and get away with it?" immediately caught Mia's attention. "Who is this?" Mia asked, squinting at her phone. "If you got something to say it with your chest. Don't be hiding behind no fake profile." The exchange grew increasingly hostile. TruthTeller205 accused Mia of setting up Marcus to be robbed the previous weekend. While Mia initially dismissed the accusations, her expression changed when the commenter mentioned specific details about her schedule and clients. "How you know who came to my house Tuesday?" she demanded, visibly unsettled. "You watching me or something?" At 12:08 a.m., the confrontation escalated beyond the digital realm. A male voice became audible from outside Mia's car. Security footage from across the street, enhanced by FBI technicians and exclusively obtained for this investigation, shows a figure approaching the driver's side window, staying carefully in the blind spot of Mia's own dashboard camera. "You set my boy up," the voice accused. "You know exactly what you did." Mia's response was defiant. "I ain't set nobody up. You need to get your facts straight before you come at me like that." The argument continued for approximately 3 minutes. Throughout the confrontation, Mia remained remarkably composed, even as the man's voice grew more threatening. What viewers couldn't see, but what police later confirmed, was that Mia had quietly texted her cousin at 12:09 p.m., "Someone outside my car. If anything happens, check the live." Most chilling was the synchronization between the physical confrontation and the online comments. As the man outside made accusations, Truth Teller 205 echoed almost identical language in the chat. This coordination, initially overlooked by investigators, would later become a crucial piece of evidence. At 12:11 a.m., Mia addressed her viewers directly. "Y'all witnessing this? This man is out here threatening me on my own property." Then, with remarkable composure, she ended the live stream with, "I gotta deal with this. I'll be back on tomorrow to explain everything." The archive comments show viewers immediately expressing concern. Several claimed to be calling 911. Others urged Mia to drive away or go inside. But the live stream had ended, leaving her audience helplessly speculating about what was happening. What investigators later discovered through forensic analysis of Mia's phone was that she had received one final message at 12:13 a.m., just 2 minutes after ending the stream. It came from a number saved as D in her contacts. The message read simply, "Look behind you." By the time neighbors heard the gunshots at 12:15 a.m., the killer had already positioned themselves for an execution that would leave no witnesses, except for the digital breadcrumbs that would eventually lead detectives to a truth far more complex than a simple act of retaliation. At 12:15 a.m. on January 10, 2024, Crestwood resident Tamika Wilson was letting her dog out for a final bathroom break when she heard what she described as 2 pops, like firecrackers, but sharper. From her vantage point 3 houses down, she could see Mia's Honda Civic, but couldn't make out any figures in the darkness. "I called 911 immediately," Wilson told investigators. Something felt wrong. It was too quiet after those sounds. What Wilson and other neighbors didn't know was that Mia Nixon had just been shot twice at point-blank range. The first bullet entered through the driver's side window, striking her in the neck. The second, fired from behind the vehicle, penetrated the rear window and hit her in the back of the head, a professional execution technique that left no chance of survival. Birmingham police arrived at 12:23 a.m., finding Mia slumped over her steering wheel. The engine was still running, her phone still recording, though no longer streaming. Officer Darnell Jackson, first on scene, reported that Mia showed no signs of life. Paramedics pronounced her dead at 12:31 a.m. The murder scene was eerily pristine. No shell casings were found despite an extensive search. No fingerprints were recovered from the vehicle's exterior. The only physical evidence was the bullets themselves, both 9mm hollow points that had expanded on impact, making ballistic matching difficult. This wasn't a crime of passion, Detective Leroy Simmons would later tell us in an exclusive interview. The shooter knew exactly what they were doing. They came prepared to leave nothing behind. As dawn broke over Birmingham, news of Mia's murder spread rapidly through social media. Her final live stream had been recorded by multiple viewers, and clips began circulating online, showing her final moments but cutting off before the actual shooting. By noon, a makeshift memorial of flowers, candles, and nail polish bottles had formed outside her apartment. Mia's mother, Shanice Nixon, collapsed when officers delivered the news. "My baby was just trying to make something of herself," she told reporters through tears. Who would do this to her? The answer to that question would prove far more complicated than anyone initially suspected. Within hours, rumors began swirling online. Some pointed to the mysterious Marcus mentioned in the livestream argument. Others suggested Mia had been targeted by a jealous competitor in the beauty industry. The most persistent theory centered on the unidentified male voice heard in her final broadcast. What few people realized was that Birmingham police had already recovered crucial digital evidence. Mia's phone, though locked, was still recording when officers arrived. The audio captured after the live stream ended would eventually become the case's most important piece of evidence, though its significance wouldn't be understood for weeks. This case shocked Birmingham for reasons you're about to discover. Drop a comment telling us what city you're watching from, and if you've seen social media conflicts turn deadly in your community.
5 Birmingham police asking for your help to find whoever shot and killed this young woman, Mia Nixon, back in January. Investigators say her family is hurting and pushing for justice in her case.
Our Tristan Rupert is live at 5 and on your side, talking with investigators about this case. Tristan, what can you tell us?
Police believe Mia Nixon was targeted, actually, and they say community help could be critical in them solving this case. I spoke with Birmingham police officer Truman Fitzgerald earlier today. He says detectives have looked into every single lead they could really concerning this case, and that a tip from the community could be critical in really cracking it wide open. Now, Officer Fitzgerald says Nixon was beloved, talented, and really excelling in the hair and nail field. He says Birmingham police won't stop searching for the person responsible for her death, and stresses no matter the information, you need to come forward if you know something.
Nothing's too small. We know the streets are talking. We know Mia was extremely popular, but our detectives need that information. So anything you have, please call that into Crime Stoppers.
Remember, Crime Stoppers is a fully anonymous process. No matter what your information is, they never know your identity. And if you do provide information that leads to an arrest in this case, you could be eligible for a $5,000 reward. Reporting in Birmingham.
The investigation into Mia Nixon's murder faced obstacles from the start. The crime scene yielded almost no physical evidence, no fingerprints, no shell casings, no footprints in the soft ground around her car. Even the bullets themselves provided limited forensic value due to their hollow point design. It was like chasing a ghost, said Detective Simmons. Whoever did this knew exactly how to cover their tracks. The first 48 hours, typically crucial in homicide investigations, produced no significant leads. Police interviewed neighbors, family members, and recent clients. They reviewed security footage from nearby homes and businesses. Nothing provided a clear image of the killer. Mia's phone became the focal point of the investigation. Digital forensic specialists worked to unlock it without compromising potential evidence. When they finally gained access on January 13th, they discovered something puzzling. Several text messages and call logs from the previous month had been remotely deleted just hours after her death. Someone with access to her accounts was trying to hide something, explained digital forensics expert Tamara Johnson. That's when we realized we weren't just looking for a killer, we were looking for a conspiracy. The deleted messages had been sent to and from a contact saved simply as D. Police initially suspected this might be Darius J., the recipient of Mia's brief call earlier that evening. When questioned, Darius Johnson, a 24-year-old former classmate of Mia's, provided an alibi that checked out. He claimed the call had been about a potential business collaboration, nothing more. By late January, the case was at risk of going cold. Public interest waned as new crimes demanded attention. The memorial outside Mia's apartment dwindled to a few weathered photographs and melted candles. Then came the breakthrough that would change everything. On February 3rd, nearly a month after the murder, a teenage girl walked into Birmingham police headquarters with her mother. 16-year-old Sh0t Davis had been one of Mia's nail clients and had also been receiving mentorship from her. She brought with her a burner phone that she claimed had been given to her by a friend 2 days before Mia's murder. He told me to text Mia from this phone and ask her to meet up, Sh0t told detectives. I didn't know what he was planning. I swear I didn't know. The friend was 22-year-old Damian McDaniel, a name already familiar to Birmingham police. McDaniel had a lengthy criminal record including armed robbery, assault, and suspected involvement in at least 2 unsolved homicides. What police didn't immediately understand was why McDaniel would target a nail technician with no apparent connection to his usual criminal activities. The burner phone provided by Sh0t contained text messages to Mia arranging a nail appointment for my girlfriend on January 9th, the night of the murder. The appointment had been scheduled for 9 p.m., explaining why Mia had worked later than usual that night. But no girlfriend ever showed up. It was a setup, Detective Simmons explained. McDaniel needed to know exactly when she'd be home that night. As investigators dug deeper, they discovered something even more disturbing. McDaniel's involvement wasn't random. Someone had hired him to kill Mia Nixon, someone who knew her routines, her business, and how to manipulate her trust. The case was about to reveal a betrayal that would shock even the most seasoned detectives. Damian McDaniel was already a person of interest in multiple violent crimes across Birmingham when police connected him to Mia Nixon's murder. His criminal history began at 15 with juvenile charges for assault and escalated to armed robbery by 18. By 22, he was suspected of involvement in at least 2 unsolved homicides, though charges had never been filed due to lack of evidence. McDaniel was known for being meticulous, explained Detective Simmons. He left clean scenes, used stolen weapons, and never talked about his work. That's why he was in such high demand as a hired gun. The burner phone provided by Kashana Davis gave investigators their first solid lead. Digital forensics revealed that the phone had connected to cell towers near Mia's apartment multiple times in the week before her murder, suggesting surveillance of her movements. GPS data placed the phone within 100 yards of the crime scene at the time of the shooting. But the most shocking discovery came when detectives analyzed the audio from Mia's phone, which had continued recording after her live stream ended. Enhanced by FBI technicians, the recording captured 3 distinct voices in the moments before the shooting, not just 2. The first belonged to Mia. The second was the male voice heard arguing with her on the live stream. But the third voice, barely audible and speaking from behind the car, said 7 words that broke the case wide open. "You got your money. Do it now." This third person was the mastermind, the one who had hired McDaniel and orchestrated the confrontation to distract Mia while the killer positioned himself for the shot from behind. On February 15th, police arrested McDaniel at his girlfriend's apartment in Fairfield. During the raid, they recovered a 9mm handgun that ballistics later matched to the bullets that killed Mia. But McDaniel wasn't alone when they found him. Also present was 25-year-old Darius Johnson, the same Darius J. who had provided an alibi for the night of the murder. The truth that emerged during interrogation stunned even veteran detectives. Johnson wasn't just a former classmate of Mia's, he was the owner of a competing beauty salon that had opened 6 months earlier. Business records showed his salon was failing financially while Mia's client base continued to grow. Johnson saw Mia as a threat, prosecutor Alicia Montgomery explained at the preliminary hearing, but went deeper than business competition. This was personal. Text messages recovered from Johnson's phone revealed the full extent of his obsession with Mia. He had been monitoring her social media for months, creating fake accounts to interact with her, and even posing as potential clients to gather information about her business practices. Most disturbing was his journal, found during a search of his apartment, which contained detailed fantasies about eliminating Mia and taking over her client base. But the most shocking revelation came from McDaniel himself, who agreed to cooperate in exchange for avoiding the death penalty. According to his testimony, Johnson had initially hired him to intimidate Mia, not kill her. The plan changed on January 7th, just 3 days before the murder, when Johnson discovered something that pushed him over the edge. He found out she was opening her own salon in April, McDaniel testified. He said she was using his business plan, stealing his concept. He showed me some paperwork, he said proved it. The paperwork was Mia's loan application for a small business grant, a document Johnson had obtained illegally through a contact at the bank where Mia had applied. The application included Mia's business plan for Crowned and Polished, a full-service beauty salon she planned to open less than a mile from Johnson's struggling business. Johnson's plan was methodical. He created the fake Truth Teller 205 account to provoke Mia during her live stream. He hired McDaniel to confront her in person while he himself remained hidden nearby, directing the action. And most calculating of all, he ensured the confrontation happened on a public live stream to establish a seemingly unrelated motive for her murder. This wasn't just a killing, prosecutor Montgomery stated. This was an assassination designed to eliminate competition and create a false narrative about why she died. The investigation also revealed that Mia wasn't McDaniel's first target connected to social media. In 2023, he had been hired to assault a popular Birmingham DJ after an online dispute, though that victim survived. Investigators now believe McDaniel may have been involved in at least 3 other attacks on local social media personalities, creating a disturbing pattern that had gone undetected until Mia's case broke it open. Perhaps most heartbreaking was what police found in Mia's apartment during their investigation: architectural drawings for her salon, scheduled to open on her 23rd birthday. Among her papers was a list of potential employees, and Darius Johnson's name was on it. Despite their competition, Mia had planned to offer him a position as a hairstylist in her new business. She had been planning to help the very person who orchestrated her execution. Mia Nixon's murder sent shockwaves through Birmingham, a city already grappling with rising violence. In 2023, Birmingham recorded 142 homicides, the highest number in over a decade. What made Mia's case particularly disturbing was how it highlighted the growing intersection between social media and violent crime. "We're seeing a new pattern," explained Birmingham Police Chief Malik Robinson. "Conflicts that begin online are increasingly ending in physical violence." Mia's case is the most extreme example, but it's part of a troubling trend. According to a study by the University of Alabama's Criminal Justice Department, social media was a contributing factor in 31% of violent crimes among victims aged 18 to 29 in Jefferson County during 2023, a 12% increase from just 2 years earlier. The community response to Mia's murder was immediate and powerful. Over 500 people attended her funeral at New Hope Baptist Church, where she had been a youth choir member. Local nail technicians organized a Nails for Mia fundraiser that collected over $25,000 for her family and established a scholarship for young women pursuing careers in cosmetology. Perhaps most impactful was the creation of Mia's Watch, a network of Birmingham beauty professionals who now coordinate safety measures, including location sharing, client verification systems, and emergency protocols for those working late hours. "Mia's death woke us up," said Tiana Jackson, founder of the network. "We realized none of us were as safe as we thought. Now we look out for each other the way Mia would have wanted." The investigation into Mia Nixon's murder revealed critical warning signs that experts say could help prevent similar tragedies. Unusual client behavior, Mia's final appointment, scheduled last minute for a girlfriend who never appeared, was a calculated setup. Beauty professionals are now being trained to verify new clients through multiple channels. Digital security, the remote deletion of Mia's messages after her death, highlights the importance of two-factor authentication and trusted emergency contacts who can secure your accounts. Livestream safety, broadcasting your real-time location, creates vulnerability. Many professionals now use delayed posting or disguised backgrounds when sharing content. Trust your instincts. Mia texted her cousin about the confrontation, showing she sensed danger. Experts emphasize the importance of acting on such instincts immediately. Mia's mother, Sh0t Nixon, now speaks at high schools about social media safety. Her message is powerful in its simplicity. "My daughter's talent made her a target. Don't let your online presence put you in danger. Success should never cost you your life." In February 2025, Damian McDaniel pleaded guilty to capital murder in exchange for life imprisonment without parole. His testimony was crucial in building the case against Darius Johnson, who now faces the death penalty. Johnson's trial is scheduled for September 2025, with prosecutors confident in securing a conviction based on the overwhelming evidence of premeditation and the murder-for-hire scheme. The investigation also led to 3 additional arrests connected to McDaniel's previous attacks on social media personalities, potentially solving multiple cold cases. Detective Simmons believes there may be more victims yet to be identified. "Mia's case broke open a pattern we hadn't fully recognized," he explained. "Her death, tragic as it is, may have prevented future killings." The salon Mia dreamed of opening will still become a reality. Her mother and aunt have used the insurance money and community donations to secure the location Mia had chosen. Crowned and Polished by Mia will open on what would have been her 24th birthday, featuring a training program for young women from disadvantaged backgrounds, continuing the mentorship Mia had quietly provided. The business plan that triggered Johnson's deadly jealousy will now become her lasting legacy. Each station in the salon will display one of Mia's signature nail designs, preserved in acrylic and framed alongside her photo. What happened to Mia Nixon represents the darkest intersection of ambition, jealousy, and social media. Her story reveals how online personas can create both opportunity and vulnerability, how the same platforms that help young entrepreneurs build their dreams can expose them to those who would rather destroy than compete. In her final Facebook post, just hours before her death, Mia wrote, "Building something from nothing isn't easy, but nobody can take away what you create with your own hands." She couldn't have known how prophetic those words would be. Though her hands were still that January night, what Mia created continues to grow. In the skills she taught others, in the business that will bear her name, and in the safety measures now protecting others in her community. Mia's story is one of thousands that deserve to be told. If this video impacted you, Please hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to join our community dedicated to seeking justice and truth. What other cases should we cover next? Let us know in the comments below.